Hi, I'm Tom Hendrickson from the Agile Online Summit, and we are partnering with the leaders in the community to bring you the Scrum Master Summit. We are joined by Bob Galen, the track curator for the Scrum Masters Learning to be a Better Coach track. Bob, introduce yourself to the people here at the Agile Online Summit.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Tom. First, thanks to you and Vasco for having me and inviting me. I enjoy collaborating with you guys. And everyone coming to the summit, I'm pleased to invite you, and I hope to see you interactively in the coach clinic. So I'm Bob Galen. I'm an Agile coach in Cary, North Carolina. I've been coaching for a little while, for a few years. Started very late in my life. I'm joking. So very, very incredibly late in my life, I've adopted Agile. No, I have some experience. It's really an honor to participate in this conference because of the focus on Scrum Mastery. And I know it's Scrum Masters, but I always converted from Scrum Masters to Scrum Mastery. And the mastery, I think that's where the rubber meets the road sort of responsibility in Agile is the art and craft of Scrum Mastery. So it's just a joy for me to be a part of it. And one of the things I think that separates, sort of the average Scrum Masters from the great Scrum Masters is this notion of coaching. And so that's why I came up with this track idea, and we invited some great speakers to that. So thanks for having me, Tom.
You bet. I want to tip my cap to you, Bob, because as you mentioned, there's a lot of things going on with this. There's recorded things, but there's also live things. And I know you've done a lot of work with a lot of the live coaching sessions as well. And I want to thank you for, always being willing to jump in and do that. And you've done a lot for the Scrum Master Summit and have done a lot with the Agile Online Summit. And I appreciate that. So
you're welcome.
But just to kind of start us off, you want to have this track that you're going to have as well, Scrum Masters Learning to be a Better Coach. So talk to us about, what that track is and what kind of, got you motivated to do that.
Well, I mean, the first motivation is if you look at the Scrum Guide, as the genesis or the baseline for what is the Scrum Master, what is the job, what is the roles and responsibilities of Scrum Mastery. There's a clear delineation that the Scrum Master is not just responsible for the team, but they're responsible for 360 degrees of the organization. Literally, they're change artists, and they're influencing change. Now, yes, there's a. I'm not trying to scare anyone who's listening. Yes, there's a focused teamwork, but there's also a responsibility outward and upward, and where you're coaching or trying to influence change or teaching leadership in your organization. And very often when there are levels removed from you, when they are higher than you are in the organization structure. And that's a challenge very often for a lot of Scrum Masters. So that's why I wanted to talk about coaching, that coaching responsibility. I think the default stance is teamwork. And even that's a challenge sometimes. But what do you do about coaching other Scrum Masters if they're dropping the ball? And what do you do about coaching leaders, managers, or project managers? And what do you do about coaching really senior leaders, if you can? And that's a gap in a lot of Scrum Masters, in my experience, in their skill sets, that they don't have the chops to coach effectively. So I really wanted to focus in the summit on aspects of that, of how do you what are some skills and tricks and sort of habits to coach more effectively?
Yeah. Why do you think there is that gap there, Bob, in so many Scrum Masters?
I'm going to joke a little bit, Tom. And there's that old joke where you go to a 2-day Scrum Master certification class and you come out and then you get thrown into the wolves. So you go to a 2-day class, you get your Scrum Guide, you read it dutifully, you get a new job description from the Scrum Guide, and then you get thrown into the wolves in the organization. And no wonder you struggle. Literally, the certifications, at least the Scrum Alliance admit, and I think Scrum.org, it's a learning certification, not a preparing you for the real world certification.
Yeah.
You should be mentored and you should be coached instead of being thrown to the wolves. So I think the reason a lot of folks struggle with it is they're getting thrown into it and they gravitate to the team because that's the easier bit, not easy, but easier bit. And they avoid the stuff that they're uncomfortable or unskilled with. and they never get better, and they don't have mentoring or training or summits like this and things like that.
Yeah.
So I think actually part of the fault is the certification bodies, and I don't know, how we prepare Scrum Masters. How do we set the stage for organizations? Like, we should be telling organizations, don't throw people into the fire after a 2-day class. You need to
Yeah.
mentor them, right? They ought to have they ought to be paired with an experienced Scrum Master
Mm.
to mentor them along the way
Yeah.
before. So entry is a challenge for a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I think a lot of companies do that. I know I was one of those people that took a class and was thrown into it and come back, the next Monday, I think, and trying to say, okay, we're going to do this, Scrum thing, and we're going to do these stand-ups. But yeah, you need some help, don't you? You need people like you, Bob, and others to kind of walk along with us, don't we?
I think so. And again, it's not even the summit is a beginning too. I want
Hmm.
everyone to think about it. This is tough stuff. I mean, I coach leaders, Tom,
Yeah.
and sometimes it scares the bejeepers out of me to go into. Those are challenging situations at
Hmm.
times organizationally.
Yeah.
So and I've been doing this for 20 years, so it's like you're never done.
Yeah.
We constantly need to be self-aware and then just building that skill set. And this is for the Scrum Masters, right?
Hmm.
Just to focus on starting the journey of building your coaching skill set.
Yeah. Yeah. Those coaching skills are so important. I know, as you mentioned, you get that 2-day program. They just maybe cursory glance of the coaching aspects. And those are hard things to develop, aren't they?
Well, the other thing that, while I'm ranting, the other thing that I'll rant about is we get everyone so worked up in the classes. Like, very often you get really excited. So it's a 2-day class and you get really excited. I mean, that's part of the instructors. The good instructors, they're wiring, it's like you're turning the key on the back of these robots. And it's like, oh
Hmm.
my God, they're really excited. Then you set them loose back into the organization. And they're like, oh, I've got to convert everyone to Agile. Oh my God, right? Agile, it's a new way of working. So we almost jack people up. I
Yeah.
mean, and there's something good about that,
Hmm.
but I think so. It's a skill set gap, and we need to also everyone needs to take a breath and say, it is a real deep, broad, nuanced job.
Hmm.
So take the time, take a breath,
Yeah.
and organizational change does not happen overnight,
Mhm.
etc.
Yeah.
So it's sort of take a breath, skill sets,
Hmm.
and that's what we're trying to do. I think a little bit.
Yeah. Well, Bob, I really appreciate your time. Any closing thoughts?
Well, everyone, we have some really. I went for a super diverse, what I feel is a really diverse lineup.
Hmm.
So I'm just going to give you some titles and some people. So I'll start with a young lady this is the first time I've met her. Nona Dontsov is a coach from South Africa, and she's going to do a deep dive into culture, the
Oh,
impact
wow.
of culture in our work environment. And I had a wonderful conversation with her. It was
Hmm.
the first time we've talked, and just wonderful. She's got some really incredibly deep insights into what, like, the nuance of culture and how to coach in different cultures.
Yeah.
Jennifer Fields is a coach out of Nashville,
Hmm.
and her talk is the coaching responsibility, like do's and don'ts. Like, what is the coach responsible for? The Scrum Master is coach, and what are they not?
Yeah.
And it's important. It's actually an important distinction to know what do you own and what do you not own when you're coaching, and how to navigate that.
Hmm.
Like the client, I'll call it the client relationship.
Hmm.
And Jennifer she's got a lot of real world team based chops.
Hmm.
Anu Smalley from the Scrum Alliance has done keynotes, and she's been the program chair for the Scrum Gathering. And she talks about coaching outside the team, sort of in a 360 way,
Yeah.
and shares some of her stories. Julie Everett is talking about is a wizard when it comes to product ownership.
Hmm.
She's talking. There's two folks from Down Under, Craig Smith and Michael Yu, and
Wow.
they're pairing up and talking about agile coaching, like professional coaching.
Hmm.
How does it apply to agile coaching?
Yeah.
And then Ioana Junko is the skill of listening, which I needed to listen to her talk about listening because I talk too much. And I still have not mastered the art. Clearly, Tom, you've mastered it. But we have a wonderful lineup and a
Hmm.
wonderful keynote with Allison Pollard, and I are talking about coaching dynamics and coaching
Cool.
leaders and coaching up. So I think
Yeah.
we have a just a rock solid.
Yeah.
I'm biased, but I think we have a rock solid
Yeah.
track, everyone, with a
Yeah.
lot of nuance to what coaching looks like. So please come and join us.
Yeah. That sounds like a really good track, Bob. We really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Tom.
On behalf of Bob Galen, I am Tom Hendrickson for the Agile Online Summit.